What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today, we will dive deep into the most disturbing and creepy confessions made by Reddit users. Without further ado, let's start the video. I want to see my teenage daughter naked. I'm using a throwaway name for this post for what I hope are obvious reasons. I have a 19-year-old daughter still living at home, and I want to see her naked. When she was little and ran around naked, it was cute, but I didn't feel any different when I saw one of my sons doing the same thing. Now my daughter is a grown, at least physically, woman, and I want to see what she looks like in a nude. I don't want to make her feel bad or come across as a creep, and I don't want any trouble with my wonderful wife. But I'm very curious about what she looks like. I should also add that I don't want to have any sexual contact with my daughter. I had thought about putting a hidden camera in her bedroom, but decided that was a stupid idea. So here I am, conflicted with what I know is a bad, but real desire, and I do not know how to proceed. I stole and masturbated into my coworker's panties. I, 32 am married, but in a dead bedroom situation. I work at a decently large company and have a very attractive coworker in an office just down the hall with me. We flirt a lot and are quite comfortable and close with each other, but have never done anything that could be thought of as physical cheating. Last year, she had an affair with a guy, and she felt comfortable enough with me to share this fact. I've had my share of fantasies where she and I hook up as well, so knowing that she cheated on her husband already made it even hotter for me. I was in her office while she was out of the office for vacation, trying to locate a file that she told me she had on her desk if I needed to double check something on it. While searching for it, I stumbled across a shoebox in her drawer. Inside the box was a pair of panties, sexy lingerie, and a thumb drive. I'm not a good person, so I snooped and checked out the thumb drive too. Turns out the underwear and lingerie were what she was wearing the night she cheated on her husband. And also on the thumb drive were her naughty photos of the event. This got my dick hard instantly. I was so wrapped up in that I shut my office door, turned out the lights, and crawled under my desk to masturbate into her panties. I then put the panties back in the box along with the thumb drive, not before making a copy of the photos for myself, and put it all back in the drawer where I found it. I'm not a good person, but if my wife would just fuck me, maybe I wouldn't have these issues. Today I found out my 19M boyfriend has been cheating on me, 18F, with his mother for our entire relationship. My BF and I have been together for almost a year now. We met at my mall food court job and immediately hit it off. After a month of knowing each other, he asked me to be his GF. Of course I said yes. Our relationship has been pretty great up to his point. He takes me on dates, compliments me, and just makes me feel super special. The only weird thing is he would never let me meet his mom. His parents are divorced and have been for almost his entire life. The divorce was messy, and his father ended up getting full custody. They had the typical every other weekend and 6 weeks out of the summer setup. I have met his dad and his paternal family, but he would be weird when I brought his mom up. He would tell me things like, "We have a complicated relationship," or "I'll tell you about it later on." About 3 months into the relationship, I began to realize he would never answer his mother's calls or texts around me. He would hastily clear it out or step into another room to talk to her, even if it was just texting. I try to not let it bother me because I wanted to respect his boundaries. Last week he spent the night with me for the first time. I woke up around 3 a.m. because of a bad dream, and I couldn't go back to sleep. I rolled over to grab my phone in the dark, but accidentally picked his up instead. I looked at the messages from his mother. I opened his phone and began to read through them and noticed they were mostly very sexual. There would be nudes exchanged, hardcore sexting, and messages for them to meet up for sex. I read the conversations in disbelief. I tried to pretend like it wasn't real, and I dreamed it. A few days later, I confronted him about it. It didn't take long before he broke down and told me everything. He had been having sex with his mother since he was 13 years old. They usually have intercourse once a week, sometimes more. They've been doing this throughout our entire relationship. He never told her that he had a GF because he wanted them to still have their weekly sessions. At this point, what to do? I love him with all of my heart, but I am so disgusted with him and his mother. I haven't talked to him since he told me everything. After he told me, I ran out and drove to a town 2 hours away. I blocked him on every social media and his phone number. I changed the locks to my house. I have also called the weekend at work so he can't find me. What should I do? Make it work out or break up with him? Unknown to her, I watched my 21-year-old stepdaughter in the shower a few days ago. My wife are middle-aged and live together with her 21-year-old daughter, my stepdaughter, from her previous relationship. For the last 3 years, our marriage has been more or less sexless, and I have existed on internet porn pretty much exclusively for my relief. My wife and I still love each other, but we have become physically distant, and although we have spoken about it, she and I haven't really been physically intimate for a very long time. I don't know the underlying reasons. This is hard to confess to. For the last 2 months, I've become nearly obsessed with seeing my stepdaughter naked. 3 nights ago, my wife came home exhausted from work and fell asleep on the bed, my stepdaughter being in her bedroom. Within half an hour, she went to the bathroom where I heard the shower running. Prior to this, I had examined the bathroom door and found that it was slightly warped at the top and offered a view into the bathroom directly onto the shower area. I gave her about 2 minutes and stood on a chair outside the bathroom door, being as silent as I could. And there she was, naked in the shower, her body slim, her dark hair and eyes contrasting against her pale skin. Her breasts were perfect, firm, and pointed, and my eyes were always drawn back to the natural dark hair between her legs. It was incredibly sexually exciting. I was nervous as hell, but I could not look away. Eventually, nerves got the better of me, and I stood down, but I was back within 2 minutes after I found my wife still fast asleep. I watched her again for 2 or 3 minutes until she finished showering. Her body entranced me as I tried to commit her to memory, my eyes always drawn back between her legs to her most private place. Throughout, her face was entirely neutral and blank. She didn't suspect a single thing. When she turned the shower off, I moved away quickly and quietly and went to our other bathroom, where I sexually relieved myself quickly. Afterwards, the post-orgasmic sadness caught hold of me like never before. I knew what I was doing. It was no accident. I felt such regret and such overwhelming guilt. But my lust was too much. Within an hour, I masturbated again, playing the scene of her over in my head again. When I went to bed, I could barely sleep for my excitement. I betrayed them both. In silence and without witnesses, I have broken the sanctity and safety of my home through a truly basic lust I feel towards a young woman who has entirely placed her trust in me for providing a safe place to live. She suspects nothing. My wife suspects nothing. But I have intruded upon her, and I will probably do so again. I'm a foul person,